Hello, everybody, and this is Marion Gellatly. I am your host today for Friday's Ask Your Expert or Ask the Expert interview here on the PWN website. I'm PWN's Vice President and PWN's 2020 Woman of the Year, and each Friday I host at 12:30 right here on the Powerful Business Connections page. So if you'd like to be interviewed, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, send me a direct message, and we'll get you set up. Today, I am very pleased to welcome our guest expert, Gaye Freedman. I'm sure most of you know Gaye. She is our programs chair, and she worked very diligently last year on our membership committee. So many of you, I'm sure, had the opportunity to meet her. Her company name is G.C. Freedman and Associates, but I like to think of her as the happiness coach. And I just love that name, and it just makes me happy to think about it. So Gaye has over 20 years of experience educating and empowering women, and she teaches about finding joy in the midst of chaos. She believes that although life can be unpredictable and challenging, even unbearable at times, happiness is a choice and available to you every day. So powerful, Gaye, and thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I think everybody will be in for a treat to get to know you better. I just want to tell any of you that are watching live, if you have a question for Gaye, go ahead and put it into the comments area and I'll watch for it. And if you are watching this interview on replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay in the comments so that we know that you have been here. So I see we have Janet with us today, and Janet Kassir, who's a new member, Kat Williford, who's a new member. Okay. Great to see you, and Rochelle Kitchen. Hi.
Hey, Rochelle, hi.
So happy to have you all here. So anyway, let's get down to you, Gaye. I want you to tell our audience a bit about your story, which is so darn powerful.
Well, I like saying that when I was a little girl, I was excited and happy and saw the joy and wonder in life, and circumstances, unfortunately, drove that little girl underground. And I think this has been a journey for me of coming back from who that little girl was, or finding her again. And that's what led me on this journey. But I do tell the story of going through a big fall, living a life that I thought was amazing and fabulous with my husband. And then through life circumstances, really ended up in a place I never expected to be. And I do talk about at times how we lost our home, how we lost a daughter, how we lost jobs and position. There were several things that were really crushing that we felt, but how going through those circumstances, I can still look back and and find things of happiness and joy that happened within it. And I tell the silly story about how even though after we lost our home and we had very little money, I had to take a job that was folding laundry in a hotel. With a doctorate in education, I was way overqualified. But I met such wonderful people that every night was fun and hysterical and laughter. And it was just crazy. I think that's what set me on the path of realizing that even though things sometimes can be depressing and heartbreaking, there are opportunities for you to find joy if you just look for it within your circumstances.
What an amazing story. And I think there are so many women, men, children who wouldn't be able to get beyond that. And so for you to, there's something within you to be able to see the bright side of a bad situation. So is that what got you then to start your business?
Well, partly when we moved to not Las Vegas, when we moved to Florida, we were lucky and had the opportunity to move to Florida. And during that time, I started doing workshops for women around, well, I called them laughing goddess workshops around happiness. And we would do that. We would get together in a hotel during, say, about 9 o'clock, and we would do all kinds of fun activities. The idea was to remind women. I would always start with a story telling them about the goddess Babo. The goddess Demeter, I'm sorry. And if you go to Greek history, she was a goddess who lost her daughter because the daughter was grabbed by this underworld figure. And anyway, it's the story about how she found her daughter, how she was depressed. She couldn't remember she was a goddess. And through laughter, something that happened through laughter, you have to come to my workshop to find out, she was able to find herself again. So we would go through the story in my workshops and talk about how that's a metaphor for women. We run into circumstances that make us lose ourselves and make us forget who we are. And then through laughter and joy, we're able to find ourselves again and come back to that place where we are powerful. We remember our power and we can be joyful. And we would do silly things sometimes, sitting on balloons, running around acting crazy, art activities, but anything. I'm a big proponent of play. Anything that would get us back into a space where we could find happiness and joy. And so those are the workshops that I would teach.
Now, do you still teach those same workshops?
Well,
here on the West Coast?
I've been doing them online and they've been fun. I recently did a self-care workshop that was a lot of fun, and I got a lot of response and I was quite happy with it. But I can't do the ones in the hotel, of course, with COVID.
Yeah.
Where we would get together, and that, even though I like doing them online, I really miss being in a group, like of 20, 25 women and just being crazy wild women for a day.
I like that, crazy wild women.
Wild women for a day.
I can't wait until we get back out and about so you can start having your workshops again that we can all come and enjoy, for sure. And I remember you telling me when we first met that you used to do stand-up comedy. Is that right?
And that's funny because what I said, when we were in Las Vegas, it was, if I look back for a period of time, we were there 5 years, and for say 2 years, this would have been the lowest point in my life. But I met a group of people who were involved in comedy, stand-up comedy, some friends, and I got involved with them. And I think that's also something I learned, that if you can find something to kind of distract you. So I have this miserable day doing things that I didn't enjoy. And there were several things that I did during that time there. But then the evenings, we'd go out and do comedy in some of Las Vegas clubs. It was so much fun. And I learned a lot about comedy. I took improv. I would recommend to anyone to take an improv class because you just are hysterically laughing for an hour and a half. So these are things that, brought my spirit back and made the days not so bad. And so again, something that I learned, that even though I didn't like what I was doing during the day and, it wasn't what my qualifications were, I was able to find laughter and joy. And that's what I like. That's what I try to teach.
Well, you are an inspiration. There is no doubt about that. And I just can't wait until we all have an opportunity to really get to see that side of you outside of this little box that we're in. So can you give us 1 or 2 tips that you think can help bring joy into our lives every single day?
Well, one of my favorite things, Joe Robinson says, play. There's something that can bring joy into your life if you just take time to find something to do. Go grab a kid, find a way to play, and then ignore a lot of the media and things that are going on right now. It's so depressing, but cultivate a space in your life for joy. And play is pretty much the easiest way of doing it. If you can find a way to play and make yourself happy.
So that might not be a natural tendency for people
right,
when you are feeling down and out and so forth. So I think there's got to be something inside of us, or you have to align yourself with somebody that can give you that encouragement. And you definitely are the person, right? That gives a woman courage. And I would say no matter where you are in life, I find, laughter for me has always been something that I've loved to do.
Yeah.
And I remember in high school, some of my friends would say, "Oh, we just love having you around because you
I love
always laugh at all of our, our jokes." So I never found myself as being able to tell jokes, but I certainly appreciate them and love them. And I really think that laughter and happiness has done a lot for my life as well.
That's true,
So
but you bring joy. You bring joy with your personality. Maybe the way I find joy isn't, going to work for you, but you have such a spirit of joy, and if I could dress as well as you do, I would be more joyful. So
ah,
you have a way of bringing joy. So don't.
well, that's a whole nother topic, of course. And you certainly can do what I do for sure. Uh, so just before we close up here, what I want to ask you is what's the very first thing that you're going to want to do as we reemerge from our pandemic lockdown?
Oh my God, there's so many things. I think right now, if I could get a pedicure, I'd be delirious.
There you go. All right, well, put that at the top of your list then, for sure. Well, Gaye, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your story with our audience. Certainly, you're very inspirational. And I hope that we'll all take your message today and think about how we can bring more joy to our life, not only today, but every single day, and especially those days that we may get up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yes.
Yes. So what I want to ask you is to tell people how they can be in touch with you or how they can find out about things that you have coming up.
Well, you can go to my website, gayfreedman.com, or on Facebook, you can find me under Happycology, Happy, Happy, Cology, that's my Facebook page, and I'll let you know about upcoming events.
That's wonderful. Well, I am watching some of the comments that are coming in, and I just want you to make sure that you go back and read them.
Okay.
Because you have been an inspiration to everyone that's watching live, and I know you're going to be a great inspiration to those that are going to catch it on replay.
Thank you so much. This has been fun.
Thank you for joining me. And next week, I want to tell you that we are going to have another expert, and her name is Janet Kassir, all the way from Erie, Pennsylvania, one of our new members. Her company is called Simply Scarves, Tie One On. I love that. And I can't wait to learn more about her unique business. Of course, because I love scarves myself, but I think scarves have such a way of bringing happiness as well, as popping an outfit. So I'm sure she's going to bring maybe some of her beautiful scarves and maybe even have a great scarf tying tip for us too. Hint, hint, Janet. So by the way, if you are a PWN member and you would like to be a guest expert, please go ahead and direct message me. I'd love to get you on our schedule. I do have an opening on April 9th and one on April 23rd. So first come, first served. And thank you all for joining us today. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the beautiful sunshine. And remember, Gaye, as you do.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.